Hello, everyone. My name is Chad Miller, and welcome to Film Geek Maniac. So, this episode is going to be a continuation of a further discussion of my very first amateur film called Us that I made back in 2009. And in the last episode, we saw Jude getting ready for a gathering at his best friend Janice's house, and how excited his twin sister Janie is about Jude having a social life. And so where we're going to pick off is, or pick up, is the morning after, when Jude wakes up and has a discussion with Janie about how the night went. And unfortunately, because there is copyrighted music used in the scene, I'm going to have to kind of go through and discuss the scene as it goes along. So, let's do it. So Jude wakes up slightly hungover, and notices that Janie's wide awake and sketching in her room, and she asks how the night went, and Jude is essentially very elated about meeting Blake for the first time, and his excitement shows, and so does hers. I wish the lighting could have been a lot different, and also the camera angle on Janie could have been adjusted quite immensely, as you'll see, especially a little bit later. So they're discussing the fact that there definitely is a connection between Jude and Blake, and Jude's very excited about it. And was there a kiss? Oh my gosh, yes, there was. And Jude realizes that because of the challenges of his life, that things could be a little bit complicated, and he doesn't necessarily want that to be an interference with his sister at all, and it kind of dawns on him a little bit there. Once again, Janie's head is cut off. Bad filmmaking. So Janie talks about her day or her night a little bit, and Jude is like, thank you for being the best sister and the best friend. And then Janie ponders if she's ever going to have a boyfriend, or if she's ever going to have a regular life. And it kind of makes her a little bit sad. And Jude's like, Janie, you do have a normal life. Janie's like, well, F you, pills make me normal. And Jude just basically sighs and walks off. This next scene is a combined therapy session to a degree, with Jude and Janie and Dr. Goodacre. They're separate sessions, but they're there at the same time. So it's kind of like a back and forth little exchange, where there's a little bit more backstory between Jude and Janie's parents, Shane and Autumn. And it's the first time you get a glimpse of them, respectively played by Rob Hogger and Carmen Dusick. And big thanks to Rob and Carmen for their little tidbits of input into this film. What little that they were given, they took and ran with, and it was great. We'll get a little bit more of Rob a little bit later, vocally. You just see a picture glimpse of him in this scene. So I don't have to worry about copyrighted music, so here is that scene.
Tell me about your father.
Well, when we were about 12 years old, Dad gave me a huge glass of what he called special cider. It was actually whiskey, but he was paying attention to me, so it was great. Until a while later that I found out that after I passed out and he beat Mom to a pulp, that was the first time that he ripped Janie.
Hello, Dr. Goodegg.
How are you today?
I'm wonderful.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. Let's go ahead and get down to business. Tell me about your mother, Autumn.
Mom was 16 years old when she became pregnant with us. She worked as a waitress at a diner and made pretty decent money. And she set aside some money for Jude and I for our education when we got older. Dad never knew about that, though, until she died. So when he went off to prison, that money was given to us as part of the settlement.
Well, after Dad went to prison, the money that Mom put aside for us came in. So I decided to move us here. Janie got disability. I figured we could have a better life here.
Well, we settled on a one-bedroom apartment, which was fine. But Jude insisted on having a big screen TV and expensive furniture, so that's where most of that money went.
I haven't spoken to Dad since he went away to prison. Janie did once, I don't know why.
Closure. Mom was a free spirit. He sucked the life out of all of us, especially her. This was her favorite scarf. I wear it all the time now, to keep her close to me.
I never want Janie to suffer again.
I hate him. Why did he have to kill her? Why did she have to die?
This is one of my most exciting and favorite scenes in the film. And it was filmed at a local gay bar in town that unfortunately no longer exists. It was one of the best gay bars I have ever been to in my entire life, and I'm glad I have this on film to highlight some of the great times that I've had there. Blake and Jude are on a date, their first date outside of meeting at Janice's. So they decide to go to a club, and I had a fun time filming, using different effects from the lighting of the club. And I used a great song that's copyrighted. It's called Bad Boyfriend by a band called Garbage. And I just thought it was an appropriate song, and I kind of put like this queer as folk vibe to it, for anybody who's old enough to be familiar with that show, and it culminates in the end with their first kiss. Well, second kiss, actually. Well, actually, just a makeout session. Um, and Blake is portrayed by Mike Helfrich. And so I'm going to run this, and obviously I can't play the audio, so I'm going to cue this up and talk about it as it plays. So lots of darkness and strobe lights. We kind of get to see Jude and Blake dancing, and then casually hanging out, smoking, having some drinks. A little slow-mo action. Mike really got into this moment, and it was, he did such a phenomenal job. And keep in mind, like, nobody minded not getting paid to do any of this. And a lot of people in watching this film said the scene took way, way, way too long. And I, in retrospect, I do have to agree. But it was just an immense amount of fun, and I really wanted to capture that the two of them were bonding, and bonding in a way that gay men in a nightclub bond, which isn't necessarily always healthy. And there's some color palette changes to go along with the lights. I spent a lot of time editing the scene and re-editing the scene and re-editing the scene, and I still think, I mean, no matter how lengthy it is, it's still a fun scene regardless. I think probably one of the prouder moments of this film for me. Things are getting a little juicy. A little bit more intimate. And then we have the makeout scene. Now the funny thing is Mike is the best friend of the guy I was dating at the time. So in essence, he was like a brother to me. So this is the first time that we've ever, that was like the first take, that kiss. So we just went in for it. And I think it turned out really well. And oddly enough, in watching it back, it didn't really seem like it was that long, but hey. So that is going to do it for this look back on Us. I'm trying to nail in as many scenes as I can per episode, just so it's not so broad in spectrum, and it keeps people coming back to see more, or go back and see, wait, I saw this episode, what happened before this, you know? Hey, I want people to come back. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate this so much. And if you have any questions about the making of Us, drop some questions down below. I'll be more than happy to ask or answer any questions. Keep in mind this was quite a while ago, back in 2009, and technology has evolved quite a bit since then, so bear with the technicalities, and thank you for watching. Love and light to you all.